What is it that makes the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid an incredible SUV? Is it the spacious interior that's comfy for the whole crew? Or the capability to go off-road? Maybe it's up to 600 plus miles of range? What if it's all of that and more? What is it then? The all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. Is it the driver behind the wheel? No. Are you sure? The all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. So much more than just another SUV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Everyone wants to be stronger, not just physically, but in every part of life. But between confusing workout advice, complicated equipment, and trying to figure out nutrition, where does anyone even start? Well, to get stronger mentally and physically, go to Anytime Fitness. You'll get a personalized training, nutrition, and recovery plan, all customized to your body, your strength level, and your goals. You'll get expert coaching to optimize your results anytime, anywhere, in the gym and on the Anytime Fitness app. And you'll get anytime access to 5,500 gyms worldwide, all with the right equipment to level up your strength gains and your life. So get started at AnytimeFitness.com. That's AnytimeFitness.com.
It's September 24th. Welcome to Morning Crankers.
Disclaimer: Morning Crankers is not responsible for coffee snorts, keyboard drool, awkward public laughter, spontaneous twerking, or any texts you regret after listening. Side effects may include joy, confusion, and the realization that your sense of humor needs therapy. If symptoms persist, don't call us. We're not that kind of show. Now then, good morning, you half-awake, chaos-loving, life-on-hard mode, champions of Earth. This is Morning Crankers, the show that slaps harder than a grandma with a fly swatter. Jokes are fresh, filters are off, and dignity left the chat hours ago. So grab your caffeine, hug your poor decisions, and brace yourself for the ride. Welcome to Morning Crankers.
Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. It's just me hands today. Gred is still, chasing down dreams and, in the land of cheese. From what I hear, he's doing pretty good, and he may make a stop on the station at one of these upcoming events, but it's not going to be today. So, hey, it is what it is. Thank you for being here. It's September 24th, and we need to get this show on the road. Well, today is World Dense Breast Day. Whatever that is, it's World Dense Breast Day. Some of them are floppy, squishy, dense. They're all across the board. Anyways, happy World Dense Breast Day. It's also National Cherries Jubilee Day. Okay, now I'm one of them people. I really do like cherries, and I pretty much like cherries in anything that they're going to come in, if you know what I'm saying. Well, happy National Cherries Jubilee Day. It's also National Punctuation Day. Okay, hey, without punctuation, especially in the English language, I really don't know and don't think we would know what's going on, if you know what I'm saying. So thank goodness for punctuation. And, we all get frustrated. Like, where do you put certain things and why, especially with the way that American English has evolved. But hey, it is what it is. And then this last National Day kind of leads us into our first story. Okay. It's National Women's Health and Fitness Day. Okay. And that's the last Wednesday in September every year, National Women's Health and Fitness Day. But, I don't know how much we actually practice that. Okay. There's a story here. Woman gives birth to her third child without knowing she was pregnant. Woman gives birth to her third child without knowing she was pregnant. Now, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. It says that a Virginia woman thought she was just having another bad day at work, but it turned into a miracle delivery. Becca Johnson said she ended up giving birth to her third child, not knowing that she was pregnant. Is that possible? I'm dead serious. Is it possible that you don't know that you're pregnant when you've had 2 other kids? She said, so we go to the ER and they check me in. I can't sit at this point. My back is killing me. I'm telling them that it's my back, but it's now radiating to my front. Maybe they're kidney stones, or maybe cysts, she said. At the hospital, she told the nurse that she felt she needed to go to the bathroom. But what happened next stunned everyone. I hurry over and I go, and oh my gosh, I'm sorry if this is constipation. I feel like such a horrible person, she said. The nurse looks over and goes, that's a head. So here's my question. And like I said, I'm not trying to, shame anybody or fat shame anybody or anything like that. But in remembrance of today, National Women's Health and Fitness Day, is it a uniquely American problem that women, and she's not the first one I've heard of this, that they're pregnant and they don't know they're pregnant? Okay, the baby came out. Everything was good, thank goodness. Carly Evangeline, happy just born day. She weighed 7 pounds, 8 ounces and was 19 inches long. Okay, and my question, and I'm a little cranky today. It is Morning Crankers. It is what it is. So I'm just going to be honest with you. How do you not know that you have 7 pounds and 8 ounces in something that was 19 inches long in your body? How do you not know that? Okay, now I'm not, it wasn't even a full-term baby, so I'm guessing that the mom ate really healthy. Is that okay? Does that make sense? I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying. It just, hey, it is what it is. And maybe this mother, congratulations, should, practice and be happy that today's Women's Health and Fitness Day and do some reflection.
Shopify's point of sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business. Need a fast and secure way to take payments in person? We've got you covered. How about card readers you can rely on anywhere you sell?
Thanks. Have a good one.
Yep, that too. Want one place to manage all your online and in-person sales? That's kind of our thing. Wherever you sell, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/listen. Shopify.com/listen.
As a matter of fact, maybe we all should be doing some reflection. Like, what do you think about and what have you been reflecting on? Especially since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, rest in peace. What are you reflecting on in your day-to-day life? Could it be that you're fat and you're so fat you don't even know that you're having a baby? I mean, could it be that? Well, maybe that's something that some people need to look at. Okay, like me. Am I getting enough exercise? I'm a little bit large in the midriff, if you know what I'm talking about. But I can tell you, I'd know if I had 7 pounds of something new in there. I would know that. But then there's other things. And I know this is going to hurt and affect some people because it's probably the only time they're going to get a chance to do this. And what I'm talking about is there was an iconic building at Burning Man. The Burning Man festival, the hippies and, the crazy free love, those people. Yeah, well, something terrible happened there. Yeah, the Burning Man. So you got to be a little crazy to go there. I mean, it has a reputation for rampant drug use. And it has a reputation for nudity. Okay, we're talking lots and lots of kids go to this every year, the Burning Man. Okay, and I'm not one to tell people how to raise their kids, but I hope they kept them out of this building that we're talking about right now. And the building, the iconic symbol that has been blown down. Okay, and by blowing, it's just ironic. There's that word. I didn't actually mean to say that, but I did. Because the Orgy Dome, that's right, the Orgy Dome has been blown down. High winds, yep, it destroyed is it famous or is it infamous? Which is it? The Orgy Dome. Organizers said that It's one of the event's most talked about attractions. What does that mean? Because they just say that, well, the Orgy Dome is a private space where people can go and explore their sexuality with strangers. Well, I mean, there's kids around. There's rampant drug use around. What could possibly go wrong? You know what I'm saying? It says, we hope to be able to offer some workshops if possible, but what remains of the dome is beyond repair. Man, it must have got smashed. Well, it says it shared a video of the tattered tent, and it remains a visible mental support. What does that actually mean anyways? I mean, the tattered tent is that where dreams went to die? You know what I'm saying? 70,000 people go there. Imagine the STDs there. Man, I'll tell you what, if you are a gynecologist and want to make some money, go to the Burning Man. Okay, just hang out around Orgy Tent there, and or Orgy Dome. Sorry, Orgy Dome. And, offer a clinical diagnosis when you're sitting right out there. I bet you'll make a ton of money. But, it says inside the structure there were mattresses and air conditioning for participants who are age screened and provide explicit consent, whatever that means. I mean, if you're walking in, I would think that gives you, you're giving them consent, I would think. It says attendance is generally limited to couples and solo men. Well, what's the difference then? Solo men, couples, women, I mean, what are they doing? Who's not permitted at that point? Well, hopefully the children don't see anything like that, but, I'm pretty sure that they're hearing stuff like that. But anyways, you can mark it in your candle. The Orgy Dome has been destroyed by high winds. So, hey, it is what it is. Have you been like me lately? You're looking for something to watch on the boob tube and there's just nothing on. Like literally nothing good. Unless you're into, what is that new show? The Summer I Turned Pretty. I mean, have you guys seen that? My daughter watches it and it's like, bleh. It is what it is. How about movies? I want to get back to the days when, you were so excited that a freaking movie was coming out. You were going to make it an event, whether it was with your friends or with your family, it was going to be an event. Well, let's see. What do we got left in 2025? Okay, The Long Walk, that came out September 12th, over. I don't know how good that was going to be anyways. A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, that was out the September 19th. Here's where we finally get to something that might or could be good. Okay, Jared Leto in Tron Ares. Okay, well, what is it going to be? Is it going to be any good? We don't know. But it's got to be better than half the crap that's on there. Now, here's one. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Okay, it's in the theaters October 17th to November 7th. This is like one of their hybrids, okay? Because if you want to go see it first, you want to see it on the big screen, go for it. You've got from October 17th to November 7th. And then after November 7th, it's going to premiere on Netflix. So, yeah, I guess my question is, remember we were talking about English earlier? We were talking about how things have changed. Well, if it's in the theaters from October 17th to November 7th, the film premiere comes out on Netflix on November 7th. So what does that mean? Is it the premiere for Netflix? Because premiere used to be some gravitas. I mean, you said if it was premiere, that's where it was coming out. That's where everybody was seeing it. Maybe we as Americans are just getting damn dumb. You know what I mean? Like, you just use any word for anything. I mean, it's all in how you feel. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Okay, I think that one's going to be a good one. Okay, Frankenstein. Love it. Then a movie that came out a couple years ago that I actually liked because I'm not into horror movies. I like thriller movies, but horror, it's not really scary to me. But Black Phone, I thought Black Phone was a really, really good movie. Okay. Well, Black Phone 2 is coming out October 17th. Okay. Scott Derrickson and Ethan Hawke return for the sequel to the 2021 Blumhouse hit that followed a boy who, after being kidnapped by a serial killer, begins receiving calls from the killer's previous victims on a disconnected phone. It was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Well, anyways, October 17th. Well, there's actually one here about my previous marriage. Comes out October 24th. It's called Regretting You. Okay, it's based on the bestseller author Colleen Hoover's book, Regretting You. And you know what? It says it's currently in production, but it's going to be released the 24th. Do you believe that? I mean, Dave Franco's in it. Scott Eastwood's in it. So I don't really know what it is. I'm thinking that it's going to be like a romantic drama type thing, I'm guessing. Yeah, I might miss that one accidentally. You know what I'm saying? Now, The Running Man. Okay, Stephen King did The Running Man. Okay, now, if you remember, in 1987, Arnold Schwarzenegger did The Running Man, and I thought it was great. If you were a kid at that time and got to saw Running Man, it was one of the coolest things. All the lights and the different cars and the battleground that they had. It was really, really cool. Well, November 7th, they're doing the premiere. Okay. Well, now, but the actual release date is the 14th, November 14th. That might be something you want to take a new girlfriend to. If she can handle this, I'm telling you, she's going to be okay. All right. So it's starring Glenn Powell. We'll see how it does. Sometimes these types of movies, they're not what you think they're going to be. Okay. You get these seconds that come out years later and you're like, well, I like the first one better. Like Total Recall. You remember Total Recall? Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it was much, much better. And kind of the same thing. And then we've got like the 35th Predator. Predator Badlands comes out November 7th. Okay. It's Predator. Okay. So can it be bad? Well, Ellie Fanning is in it. Well, so we'll see. But Predator's good. They just don't reach the level of the first one. You just can't do it. Then we have Now You See Me, Now You Don't. November 14th. Now I think this could be pretty good. Okay. The Four Horsemen, Jesse Eisenberg, J. Daniel Atlas, Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco, and Isla Fisher will return alongside Morgan Freeman. New faces in this film will include Justice Smith, Ariana Greenblatt, Rosamund Pike, and Dominic Sessa. I don't know. I think that one's going to be a pretty good one, to be honest with you. Now, Wicked for Good, November 21st. Zootopia 2. I'd probably go see that. Not going to lie. When you have as many kids as I do, you got to get ahead of the cartoon game, kind of know what's going on. Zootopia 2. I think I'm going to like it. Avatar, Fire and Ash. Ugh. Were you guys a fan of Avatar? I mean, were you? Did you like it? I mean, this is one that you can obviously see they're trying to capture the Christmas moment for all the people that are going to have to work Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So December 19th, take the family out and go see a good family movie. Avatar, Fire and Ash. Maybe. Marty Supreme, another December 25th. And I've never understood Christmas movies. It's a year from the theatrical release of A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic from James Mangold starring Timothy Chalamet as the music icon. Theaters will get another Chalamet film, Marty Supreme, from A24 and directed by Josh Safdie. It stars Chalamet as a ping pong player, Marty Reisman. Well, all I can say and that I can judge it on is it going to be better than Forrest Gump when he's playing ping pong? Okay, I doubt it. There's probably better action, better acting in the limited amount in that movie than this one. That's all I'm going to say. The Housemaid also drops on Christmas. The Housemaid, that must be for people that are, feeling lonely, like single ladies that don't really want to do anything and they want to bury their head in something. So, you know what, you can go on Christmas and go watch The Housemaid. It's something for you to do. And then if you go into 2026, Wolfman. Okay, now that's going to be good. Okay, I think that's going to be great. We'll see how it is. It's a Blumhouse movie too. So back in action, January 17th, Cameron Diaz, Jamie Foxx. Okay, we're going to see how this goes. I think this is going to be a good one. Okay, it's got Ryland Jackson, McKenna Roberts, Jamie Demetro, Glenn Close, Andrew Scott, and Kyle Chandler all in that. And finally, this is the last one. There's more, but this is the last one. I mean, nobody plans on a movie through January when you're just about to enter October. So nobody does it. You're cordially invited. All right. Will Ferrell, Reese Witherspoon, and they fight over a date and venue for weddings for their daughters. I could see that being funny. Okay. And one more. Okay. Captain America, February 14th. We'll see. We'll see how that happens, and if it's any good, But I doubt it. Okay, I'm just saying. Now, I wanted to talk to you as a morning cranker at the state of America, and I really wanted to start talking, but I didn't want to go into the Charlie Kirk stuff. I didn't want to be disrespectful, but I definitely see what Turning Point USA is seeing. I started looking at local news, not big all across the country, federal news. No, I started looking at local news, and I noticed across the country there was the same kind of thing everywhere. This story is actually in multiple states, but with different people. Listen to this. 6 children, including baby, found living inside a storage unit. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Why? Well, could it be that rent's too high? Okay, why did rent go up? Well, when all those people crossed the southern border, they had to have somewhere to live, and because the federal government wasn't paying their rent, they were only paying other groups that paid their rent. Because they needed the space, landlords were able to rent their places and pretty much have their rent guaranteed, so they raised the prices. That's what happened. Okay, it is what it is. Our vice president told us so. So now we've got families, including babies and children, living in storage units. Now, I've known people that have lived in storage units before, but it's usually guys, you know what, I'm a truck driver, I'm going to save some money. There's a porta potty bathroom. There's my workout shop's right there. I can take a shower, that type of thing. But now it's gotten to the point where these people are living there, and the irony here is so funny. You have certain things that you think about certain groups of people. So not only there was a baby and kids ages 9, 7, 5, 3, and 2, plus a 2-month-old baby. They also had a dog. Okay, and they were living in the storage unit, and the only reason they found them was because their Ford Expedition was sitting outside, and they were, hey, what's up? Okay. Yeah. Well, we are in a sad state of affairs in America when it comes down to this. So I understand what's going on with everything, but you can't be political with something like this. Okay. You have to be, well, this is right, this is wrong. Some people, they don't want to talk about the things that are wrong because it might not make their side look good. And I don't give a shit. I think that we should just, hey, this is what's wrong with America. Who's got the best option to fix it? You see what I'm saying? And look at all the other things that are going along with this. But, hey, it is what it is. And then we got, now this is something common that I've always kind of known, like codependent people. Usually it's codependent females. That you ever met one of those girls that, you see them dating somebody and things aren't really working out, but they stay with that person until they find another person and then they just transition to that person. They're never single. Well, we used to call that codependent. So they had to have somebody. Well, now it's considered a new toxic dating trend. Did you know that? Monkey barring. Here's why experts call it cheating. That's what it says. Quit monkeying around when it comes to the feelings and hearts of your lovers, experts say. Everyone knows at least one person in their life who's never single and swings from one blank to the next blank without missing a beat. Dating pros calls it monkey barring or monkey branching, which is the act of clinging to one partner while lining up another behind your current flame's back. Too terrified to ever fly solo, these serial daters stick with one mate only until the next one is within reach. But don't confuse it with Gen Z's trend polyamory, which is a consensual and above-board monkey barring or monkey branching. Experts warn, it's all about sneakiness and betrayal. You see, monkey barring and polyamory are fundamentally different, explained Angelica Koch, relationship expert. Is there such a thing as a relationship expert? Monkey barring is based on codependency and is arguably a form of cheating, while polyamory is based on the ability to love several people in a romantic way at once and isn't cheating because everyone's involvement is consented. I guess unless you want to get married and then it's illegal, I think is the way that it works. I don't know. Go ask a Mormon. But as Koch further explained, people who do this often lack emotional growth because they are constantly moving through life in a fear-based manner to avoid the hard work it takes when healing from wounds in a past relationship. Maybe there's some truth to that. Many people enjoy the thrill of doing this because it provides the security that you won't be alone, the love guru said. She stressed that jumping from one potential partner to the other doesn't allow you room to truly grow and get to know yourself. Something you need to do before any successful relationship or romantic or platonic can take place. Well, this isn't the only dating trend lately to come with a catchy name. For example, bank sighing is inspired by the elusive street artist, describes a partner who slowly grows emotionally distant, leaving their unsuspecting other half blindsided, much like Banksy's surprise artworks. Then there are submariners who vanish for months only to resurface in your DMs as if nothing happened, a toxic trend where ghosters casually return from the dating deep. Experts and heartbroken daters alike warn, in the jungle of love, watch out for branch hoppers, Banksys, and submariners. Your heart isn't a playground. Well, I mean, the thing is, I like to laugh at this stuff. This is on the New York Post, but this is a serious article. Okay, they're literally saying, okay, well, you need to watch out for this and protect your heart. Well, I'm sorry, when I was dating, if somebody's going to ghost me, I probably wasn't going to go on a date with them because I already had date night filled up with somebody else. Okay, and maybe it's because of being Gen X or something. But if I ever got the feeling that my girlfriend was trying to line up somebody else or was, flirting with somebody else to get that, you know what? She was out on the street like the trash on Monday. It is what it is. Am I wrong about that? And then people that do really unexpected, weird stuff when it comes to dating. I mean, the Banksy, I get the term, the artist Banksy, I get that. But that means they have no stability. That means that the relationship wouldn't last that long anyways. So my question is, with all of these, where does the responsibility of the person that's doing the dating fall in with these horrible people? You know what I'm saying? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. So the last show we did a article where somebody had wanted to pick up a rattlesnake. So they picked up the rattlesnake and wham, they got bit. Okay, and I was like, oh, that's pretty dumb. Okay, if you pick up a poisonous snake, the chances of you getting bit because that's their natural protection are probably pretty high. Okay, this is a different story, and I can understand this. Runner bitten by copperhead on Ozark Trail. Okay, this was local. Okay, it's right around here. I get it. All right, now I've listened to the so-called experts say, well, snakes aren't aggressive. They're really not, okay? They're not going to chase you. Once they're going to try to get away from you. Well, this person got bit by a copperhead. And I have stomped around a lot in the woods and creeks of the Ozarks for a decade now. And I can tell you this, copperheads are the meanest sons of bitches in the woods. I've ran into cottonmouths, I've ran into rattlesnakes, and they both did, the multiple times I ran into them, they wanted to escape me, they wanted to leave. However, copperheads, no, majority of the time are like that. They are going to leave and go and things like that. But a copperhead I've had chase me 3 or 4 different times, or at least come slithering towards me because they weren't afraid of me at all. Okay, now, the weird part about this, Sarah Foreheads, okay, and you could actually say Voorhees, if you want to get kind of spooky with it, but it's Forhetz. It was kind of weird. She was the person that was bitten, and this is the weird part. She was listening to the Bible on her phone when she stepped on the snake. Okay, she stepped on it. She wasn't paying attention, but is it ironic that she was listening to her Bible when she stepped on the snake? I'm just saying, maybe that verse you should listen to when you got bit and see what it says. He who walks with snakes shall get bitten. Or maybe, hey, if you're running on a running trail that has poisonous snakes, it may be good to look down to see what you're running on. I'm just saying, okay, maybe. And speaking of the Bible, experts now believe, now keep in mind, these are the same experts from the leftist, crazy, weird ideology that said that Jesus didn't exist. The same leftist, okay? They're now saying that they believe that Jesus used cannabis oil to perform his miracles. So I guess in America, we've gotten to that point. Okay, they can no longer deny that Jesus was Jesus, okay? But so now they have to say, okay, well, yeah, you know what? They found his name under a prison. There's no way it could have been put there, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you heard about that. It was in Israel under a prison floor. They found the oldest tribute to Jesus ever. Okay, so now they're saying, okay, well, yeah, okay, something's going on here. Jesus is real, but he didn't really perform miracles. He used the ganja. He was a cannabis oil connoisseur. That's what they're saying. Well, I don't know. It's a controversial theory that's being championed by experts. Experts of who? Or experts of what? You know what I mean? The same people that say that he didn't exist, but now he exists, but he didn't really create miracles. He was just using the ganja. Am I the only one that finds that hilarious and funny? I mean, literally. David Benestock. Okay, this expert. Okay, he's an author. Yeah, an author. David Benestock, that's an expert. Well, if you look into him a little bit, you find that when places like this are saying that they're experts, well, you don't really know what they're experts in. And then you see David Benestock is the chief editor of High Times magazine. Well, I don't know. You be the judge, okay? I really don't want to make people feel bad, but it is what it is. Just think about this, okay? The Orgy building, okay, blew down. A woman listening to the Bible got bit by a poisonous snake. The deniers of Jesus are now saying that Jesus was real, but he used cannabis. Okay? crazy, toxic dating, people living in storage sheds. Okay, are you catching the theme here that's going on? Now, this isn't in America, but I want you to think about this. Denmark, okay, the bastion of democratic socialism, the place that the leftists in America want to take America, Denmark. Okay, they sent out a memo the other day, an email to all their supporters asking their patrons to please donate their pets. For what, you say? Well, not as attractions, but for food. That's right, because Denmark is running out of money and the zoo can't afford to feed its animals. You think I'm crazy? This is on npr.org. Okay, go look it up. You can see, okay? Then, so do that lineup again, and then add in that a zoo is now looking for you to give your pets to be eaten because they can't afford to feed it. Then we move to this, robot rabbits. Okay, I'm not kidding. This is on Associated Press. Robot rabbits are the latest tool in the Florida battle to control invasive Burmese pythons in the Everglades. West Palm Beach, Florida. They look, move, and even smell like the kind of furry Everglades marsh rabbit a Burmese python would love to eat. But these bunnies are robots meant to lure the giant invasive snakes out of their hiding spot. Okay, now I want you to think about something. Let's say we're doing a movie, okay, like a dystopian terror movie, maybe a thriller, and we want to come up with the most audacious, craziest thing we ever. What would you come up with? I think that a lot of people would probably come up with a robot rabbit or a killer cyborg rabbit, right? Think about this. In a world where giant snakes rule the land, comes Fido, the mechanical cyborg rabbit, to save the day. You know what I'm saying? Isn't it crazy that this is real stuff? Okay, a robot rabbit that is made to kill Burmese pythons. Well, it says it's the latest effort by the South Florida Water Management District to eliminate as many pythons as possible from the Everglades, where they are decimating native species with their voracious appetites. In Everglades National Park, officials say that snakes have eliminated 95% of small animals as well as tens of thousands of birds. I mean, it's cool. I'm not saying it's not cool. Okay? We got some problems in America, if you know what I'm saying. We got some problems. And this is one of them. Okay, I'm going to do an overview just so you see where we're at in America, okay? Here's another one, completely different. Okay, so the Chicago PD get together and they're like, hey, you know what? We heard that this person was murdered and they pushed the car into the Chicago River. They're looking for a couple. Let's go down in the Chicago River. Let's go see if we can find this car with them in it. And let's see if we can solve this case, right? Okay, so they send a dive team, okay, from the fire department. They send a dive team down in Chicago, down into the Chicago River. And this is so gross and disgusting. That dive team, they located that car all right, along with 96 other vehicles. They don't even know how many cold cases these vehicles have. 97 cars, trucks, and SUVs in total have been found in a short stretch of the Chicago River. 97. I want you to think about that for a second. 97. Okay, so, hey, maybe we could focus on cleaning up the environment. I don't think that's a partisan issue, is it? I mean, is it or isn't it? I mean, 97 cars in a short section of the Chicago River. And they say, hey, be careful of the mercury if you eat any of the fish out of there. I don't know, mercury, oil, transmission fluid, radiator fluid. You tell me. Is it just me? Is it? Well, how about this? John Emerson, okay, was a pilot. And he was just found guilty, all right? Or he pled guilty, I should say. to doing something in a plane. He almost killed a bunch of people, but this is in America. Okay, this is an Alaska Airlines flight. His friend had passed away, so he was all upset about it. And he goes in, and he gets in as the pilot, and he starts taking off, and, they're going through their flight, and blah, blah, blah. Everything's going fine, and he just shuts the motors off. That's right, he cut the plane engines. And why? Well, because he felt bad. He was upset over a friend's recent death. So he decided to take magic mushrooms about 48 hours before he was to ride in the cockpit. And, he took the magic mushrooms, so he was already hallucinating from that. But then he didn't sleep for over 40 hours. So he thought that it was a good idea to shut the engines off. He pled guilty to interfering with a flight crew, and he was a former Alaska Airlines pilot. That's crazy. It was a Horizon Air Flight 2059 from Everett to San Francisco. Let me ask you, what do you think? So let's do Morning Crankers today a little bit in review. We talked about how today was National Women's Health and Fitness Day. And we moved from that story and went right to a woman who had a 7-pound, 8-ounce baby and didn't even know that she was pregnant. Do you see the correlation? Okay. Then we went to the Burning Man Orgy Dome that was destroyed by high winds at this event where people bring their children to everywhere. And it's called the Orgy Dome. All right. Well, then we talked about some movies. What's good, what's bad, what's coming. That was probably the most normal part of it. Then we talked about children, a baby, and a dog living with their mother in a storage unit. Then we talked about the craziness in dating, the toxic dating trends that are going on around this country. Then we talked about the experts that now say that Jesus is real, but cannabis oil is how he was doing his miracles. Then we talked a little bit about the person who picked up the rattlesnake and got bit, and then the runner bitten by the copperhead on the Ozark Trail while listening to the Bible. Then we talked about the zoo in Denmark who asked people to, hey, please donate your pets. Then we talk about robotic bunnies, all these are true stories. And they've got robotic cyborg bunnies to kill pythons. Then we talk about a simple search for a car in the Chicago River in a short span of the river. How they found 97 vehicles and the cleanup has now began. And like I said, who knows how many cold cases are going to be solved from the 97 vehicles that they found. And then we talk about a pilot who felt really bad, so he took magic mushrooms, and then he didn't get sleep for 40 hours and tried to shut the planes or the engines on the plane off. Let me ask you something. Is America okay? Is it? These are all real stories. We're looking at AP News. We're looking at Sky News. We're looking at Fox 32 Chicago. We are looking at the New York Post, KY3. These are all normal publications of places that regular Americans read. I don't know. It's scary to me, and it's good day to be a cranker. All right? Thank you for listening to Morning Crankers. I love you guys. I will see you next Wednesday.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Wherever you go, whatever they get into, from chill time to everyday adventures, protect your dog from parasites with Credelio Quattro. For full safety information, side effects, and warnings, visit CredeliaQuattroLabel.com. Consult your vet or call 1-888-545-5973. Ask your vet for Credelio Quattro and visit QuattroDog.com.